It is approximately 6:22 p.m.
Yes.
on a nice April spring day.
Yes.
I'm Pete. This is Aaron. The man in many hats behind everything that you see here is Keith. He's with us. This was kind of off schedule, but we had to do it. Some things,
put it together a little bit, right?
Put it together. We here. Philly Sports Guys, PSG, true and authentic. Couch perspective with a fan. We're here with you. Radio Vision Sports Buzz channel. Crazy day. It's been a crazy 48 hours for sports. A lot going on.
A lot going on. NFL draft.
We had the blockbuster draft trade today.
Yeah.
With the Rams moving all the way up from the 15th pick to the number 1 pick, and the Titans getting a nice size haul.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean because you're short, but I'm just. If you remember back a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the Cleveland Browns and they were the sleeper. This just like flew right on the radar, with them just moving in like
Schefter
that.
Schefter had just released reports on his Twitter. If you follow him,
right.
Adam Schefter at ESPN, he had just released that he thought the Rams were a wild card because the Eagles had been talked about and rumors were going around that they were trying to trade to number 1 pick, but the Eagles just didn't have enough ammunition. They didn't have any second-round picks, which supposedly Howie Roseman is really upset about because he likes to have that firing power to make moves, wheels, and deal. So
and guess what? Chip did it to us again.
Yeah, Chip, the era Chip is still haunting us. His presence is still
the
there.
Ghost of Chip Kelly.
But with the draft trade now, it changes the whole complexion of the draft because now with the Titans moving out of the first pick and the Rams moving up into the first pick.
Right.
The Rams obviously they don't. There's rumors that it's Wentz. There's rumors that it's Goff. There's rumors that it's still undecided. Right. But there's no rumors that they don't know it's going to be a quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback.
Right. Well, it's definitely going to be a quarterback. Personally, it could be nice to have Goff. I mean, he's a homer. He's a California guy. He's from that area, the Bay Area. You can't start with him. He's decent. I mean, the sexy pick again is Wentz. I mean, that's the sexy pick.
That is the cute hot girl pick, Wentz, because moving to LA, second largest market. And sometimes they come to the game and out, but they don't bleed sports like we bleed here on the East Coast.
It's just different.
So they have to sell tickets. You have to have somebody's name on the back of the jersey that's going to sell. So they've achieved that goal. Now, looking at this from the Rams' perspective, they're on the opposite end. They're the ones giving instead of receiving, as 2012 with the RG3 trade.
Right, first rounder, fourth
they
rounder.
had 6 overall picks, two 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s.
Right.
That's what they received from Washington. Now, if you look at that trade, you would think that, oh my, why would the Rams do this? Look at what RG3 did in Washington. They made the playoffs twice with RG3 and Kirk Cousins, who they got picks from.
Absolutely.
The Rams didn't do anything with those 6 picks. Right. So they're looking at it. That franchise quarterback is more important than giving up those picks and franchising the future.
Right. Now, and let's face it. I mean, listen, they got Nick Foles. Come on, let's be honest, people.
Nick Foles,
Case Keenum. Okay. Listen, you got to get that quarterback. And the thing is, they have a great defense.
Yes.
They got a stud running back in Gurley.
And don't forget about Trey Mason. They have depth at the running back position.
So you bring in a Wentz or a Goff. He can learn the system. Put him in a great running game with Gurley, and go from there.
Now, short term in 2017, if you're going to start a day 1 rookie quarterback, chances are, especially in that division with those defenses, you're not going to be that good. So, for the Rams, this is a long-sighted view.
Term, right.
This is 2 or 3 years that you plan to hit and then have the franchise quarterback of the future. Now, looking at it from the Titans' perspective, I mean, they have 6 picks in the top 76 overall picks this year. They have 2. They have a first-round pick that they moved back that they can still draft the offensive tackle.
Right.
Because between Tunsil, yes, Tunsil is the clear-cut favorite. But after that, when you look at Stanley, Conklin and Deckler, it's not. It's a gap, but it's not a significant gap. You can make that work.
Exactly.
And you already have Taylor Lewan, you have Chance Warmack. That's 2 of your first-round picks over the past couple of years. But now you have 3 second-round picks.
Absolutely.
They still have their second-round pick.
And the thing is, I mean, they have some holes on defense. So, I mean, you can trade up. You can make a couple moves. There's so much they can do with that. I mean, you can get a linebacker in Ragland from Alabama. There's so many things Tennessee can do. I'm going to say this, and I said this earlier to you off camera. If you're a GM, and if you want to be a GM, this is the perfect blueprint. This is how you want to be a GM. To get assets. I mean, 6 picks. I mean, within the 6 picks? That's crazy. Yeah, you want to put yourself in a position to have more darts to throw at the board to hit and land. So now, one of those picks you may ask yourself, how does this tie into what we truly bleed? And that's green. It's one of those picks that the Rams gave up to get to number 1. It's the 45th pick in the second round.
which is our pick.
Our pick.
That's the pick from the Bradford
Absolutely.
trade. Once again, goes to Chip Kelly.
Chip
is still here.
Chip's doing it.
So this now moves. You don't know where Tunsil's going to end up.
Nah.
Cleveland.
There's so much that can happen in this draft. And the funny thing is, like you said, like you're about to say, Cleveland can do the same thing. Cleveland can make the same trade. You know.
I will tell you on record that Cleveland now has more leverage than what Tennessee had, because going into this first round,
right,
you knew there was 2 top prospect quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. One of those prospects is going to be gone. So now for other teams thinking that they would have a choice between the other one.
Now, when you say other teams, like what are you saying, Eagles?
You got Eagles, you got the Bears, right, who need a quarterback soon.
Right.
I mean, San Diego can go quarterback. Dallas can go quarterback.
Right.
So now you may not want to take any chances. New Orleans can go quarterback.
Absolutely.
That's a sleeper team.
That's a sleeper team.
Breeze is getting older.
And you never know the Jets, because the Jets, I mean,
with the whole Fitzpatrick going on now. They may be able to get a better haul or a better package than what Tennessee got.
Right.
And now speaking of assets, Paul DePodesta being a baseball analytic guy, he knows all too well
about assets
and how to maneuver to get picks and acquire more talent,
right,
and put himself in a position. But
it's just the thing is, I mean, with all those moving parts, Cleveland is still, even though I said it, Cleveland's still a wild card right now, and they hold most of the court. They can do whatever they want to do right now.
Right.
And if you're Cleveland right now, you need to get some assets.
You need to get some assets now.
You need some assets back.
What this does do,
right,
on the surface is Dallas has the potential to end up with Jalen Ramsey,
right,
or Joey Bosa,
or even Miles Jack.
That's a
which
scary.
we both don't want.
I don't want. I mean, I was scared to see Bosa 2 times a year,
right,
but I definitely don't want to see Ramsey or Miles Jack 2 times a year, just because those are 2 of the top 3 prospects in the whole draft, regardless of position.
Right.
Regardless of position. So, but now also what this does, this even at the Eagles sitting at 8,
right,
this move makes other players come down.
Absolutely. Now here's the scary thing though, and I know you were saying this before. You were saying Ezekiel Elliott may not be there. I believe in my heart of hearts that he will be there.
So now with this done, do you think Goff is on the? Do you think another team trades up to 2 to get Goff? Cleveland drafts Goff, or they pass?
It can go either way. I mean, it's according to what the inner workings are with the deals behind the scenes. If the deals aren't going through, then Cleveland's going to take Goff.
Right. So
that's for sure.
My idea is, I think if Cleveland stays put at 2, and they don't, they should take Tunsil.
Right.
Because they need help everywhere they can get it, and they need a sure thing.
Yes, they do.
They just had RG3. That's a reclamation project.
Plus, Joe Thomas is in his 9th year. He's getting a little older on the older side. Bringing in Tunsil, he can learn from one of the best tackles in the league, a Hall of Famer, Joe Thomas. So, go from there.
Right, and so then you have San Diego at 3. That they're probably, if Tunsil goes off at 2, I think they'll take Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
And then
we're hoping.
Or Bosa.
Right.
And then from there, I think there's still a lot left to be determined in this draft.
Right.
And what this already shows you 2 weeks out from today, we don't know what's going to happen.
Just don't know. I mean,
I don't know what's going to be there for the Eagles.
There's so many moving parts in this draft. Yes. And I think that's what makes NFL so exciting, because, and that's why they're one of the greatest sports in North America, the greatest, because there's so many different things going on. So many draft transactions, trades. It's great,
With that, and then the regular schedule being released tonight on NFL.com. NFL channel, I don't know. I know for Comcast, I think it's 860.
847, I believe it is, right? 847.
That's Comcast Sportsnet, sir.
We're talking about.
I'm talking about
NFL Network. 860.
NFL Network.
Yes.
I don't know what this brother talking about, but the NFL schedule is releasing tonight. Then, with the draft trade, then you have, that's the lighter side of it.
Right.
There was a couple other things, the ugly side of this week in NFL. The whole Josh Gordon thing with the diluted marijuana test last month.
I just can't understand.
I don't know.
I don't understand. There's people that are dying to get in this situation. I never could understand this about the young athletes, how they're in a situation, they're blessed to be there, and they just throw it away. Why do you throw a great
after already
opportunity?
missing a complete year?
Now keep this in mind. When you're getting suspended one year, you've violated at least 5 to 6 times.
Yes.
So I mean, he's violated over, let's say it's probably 10 times, be honest with you, 10 times. And after the 10th or 11th time, you can't get it together?
Well, it's not so much, it's not that he tested positive, it's just that the sample was diluted, which means it was cut with something else. So it was maybe he tried to clean it out of his system too fast and got hit with the test. And I don't know if he knew it was an unscheduled test or if he knew it was scheduled. But if it was scheduled and he knew he had to take the test, that's still bad. But on the other side, we got to take a break. We got to pay some bills. Some sponsors are going to come and talk to y'all. We hope that you stay with us. Keep it here. Ustream, Radio Vision, Sports Buzz channel. And when we come back on the other side, we're going to talk about a couple more things with the NFL. Not so good. I mean, really, it's the loss of a life and this violence and the crime with the guns. And then we're going to go into what was a great night last night.
NBA, absolutely.
NBA, it was a great night. Sports Buzz, Philly Sports Guys.
That's right.
Pete, Aaron, my man Keith, man of 50 hats. We're out.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at alicia@whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
PSNG. On the SBC.
Radio Vision.
Real quick, Radio Vision as well. Now, real quick, we had a great night. Great night, NBA.
It was a great night to be a basketball fan.
Kobe Bryant, and there's a lot of Kobe fans out there, and right now, they're sombering because he's going.
I'm not.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a Kobe Bryant fan, but I think the last year to a couple years, I kind of respect his game.
Yeah.
And what he has, as far as contributing to the game. Yeah. He's just...
You can never erase what he's done for the game. And I don't want to sound like I'm harsh.
Right.
I'm just I'm too close to it right now to really appreciate Kobe and what he's done and what he's brought to the game.
Right. Well,
I think he shot 40. If you just give me I can not take away the first 3 quarters. Just what he did in the fourth quarter alone. I've never seen a send-off like that. Like, it lived up to the hype.
I mean, you could actually see the ice rolling through his veins, like vintage Kobe. You really can see that.
Like 06, 07, 08 Kobe. In that fourth quarter,
2 to 3 guys on him, he's just shooting shots and making them. I mean, that's vintage Kobe.
Now, a lot of people will say, well, the Jazz didn't have a lot to play for, but it's still the NBA. You're still a professional. You're still getting paid to play. He had 60 points on 50 shots. That seems like a lot, but actually he ended up shooting 44% from the field.
Right.
His 3-point percentage was trash.
It was
very
trash. It was horrible. He's actually shot worse for the whole year. I mean, if you want to talk about the history, he's probably one of the worst shooters this year.
And like he said in his post-game speech to the court when he was on the center court talking to the fans, he was like, out of all the years, everybody tells me pass. Tonight, it's don't pass. And you know what, Kobe? My hat's off to you. If I had a head off,
absolutely.
I tip my cap to you. You had a great 20-year career, and you will be missed for overall from the brand what you brought to the NBA, not just with Nike. I mean, kids, Kobe line. You are the Michael Jordan to this kid's generation. Obviously, I'm a little older. I got to watch Mike just like you did, and that's my idol.
Right.
I would have loved to see you play Mike one-on-one at both in
their prime, right?
In their prime of their career, but you will be missed.
And he's the first ballot Hall of Fame.
Of course, first ballot. He's on my top 5. He's in my top 5.
And one of the good things about that night last night is just seeing everybody. All the guys come out. Shaq was there. D.
Fisher was there.
Yeah, D. Fisher. I mean, it was great to see.
I saw Gary Payton there. Because you can understand, this is a fraternity. This is a brotherhood.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of guys get to make it to a 20-year NBA career and be able to play it at a high level.
And make 18 All-Stars. I mean, that's what I think was incredible. 18 All-Stars, 3rd all-time scorer, 20 years. I mean, man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And then to hit the go-ahead shot, and you see him pump his chest and pound his chest, he was still caught in the moment. At that time, you couldn't tell him he was 37. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't know that was his final
game. It was
game.
that inner child in him. It was that inner child in him. And that's one thing I could say about Kobe. You know, he had that drive. You know, he had that drive. He was an assassin out there on the floor. You know,
that's where he got the mama
and
from.
he was that kid also.
Yes.
So it's all intertwined all together. You know, it's just it's nice. It's a really nice thing.
Once again, Kobe, I can't say enough. Hats off to you. I hope that somehow, some way, that you stay around in the game of basketball, because the young players today, some of them need that determination. I think the closest thing to you now that we see on the court that we commonly agree on is Russell Westbrook.
Right.
That drive that I want to beat you at no matter all costs.
Yes.
I want to beat you.
Absolutely.
But once again, I can't say it enough.
Right.
That game, I can't think of a better final game that person actually went on top.
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, there hasn't been anything that I can think of offhand that hasn't been like that. I mean, Willis Reed, but he didn't go out, but he still came off an injury. But
and that was in the playoffs. But I mean, this is almost like
final send-off.
This is almost like Ryan Howard and his final game. He retires. He doesn't want to play for anybody else. He wants to put the pinstripes on. Mm-hmm. It's the last game of the season, and he hits a walk-off home run.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with you on that one.
Absolutely. So now that was on ESPN too.
Right.
Courtesy ESPN providing the video.
Mr. Curry.
On ESPN 1, or the original ESPN,
right.
The Warriors were chasing 73, and it was clear by the end of the first quarter, the Grizzlies really didn't have a lot left. Marc Gasol's out, Conley's out, and Steph had 7 threes in the first quarter.
I
mean, this dude is ridiculous. The greatest shooter of all time. If anybody, and look, I watched Craig Hodges shoot in the three-point contest.
Craig Hodges, Larry Bird. Larry Bird. Let's go Larry Bird.
I'm just saying, this overall shooters, Del Carey, Glenn Rice.
Listen, I would give anything in this world to see Larry Bird in his prime against Stephen Curry. That would be the dream matchup. I mean, just think about it. Larry Bird in his prime.
1-on-1?
No, I'm talking about shooting.
The shooting?
3-point. Shooting.
If it's time.
Larry Bird, listen, you remember Larry Bird won that 3-point contest?
In a warm-up.
In a warm-up. Who does that? That's bad.
Now, true, I hear you. I hear you, but
come on.
The quick release, I wish that we had a sports science where we could time Steph's release. It's so fast, it's so quick. So they're at 73 wins. I don't personally ever think it'll be broken. 73-9 is
it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time. I mean, look, 20 years, right?
20 years. I mean, 72-10, you wouldn't think it'd be broken, but then you see and then the way the Warriors play, small ball. Steph won the MVP last year.
He's going to win again.
And he should win again because he actually got better in the stats that he was lacking at last year. Played better overall defense this year. Distributed the ball better. So now you always hear these stories. Now that they're sitting at 73-9, where does this leave? We always want to put eras together.
Right.
We always want to say, is this team better than this team? Is this team better than 86? I mean, I think I saw one tweet where the 2015-16 Warriors would lose to the 95-96 Bulls.
Yes.
But the 86 Celtics would crush both of them.
No. Negative.
I don't know how
I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm too much of a sports fan to do that.
Well,
I want to appreciate every team in that era.
Okay, you want to appreciate it, but let's be honest. We're all competitive. We want to see the best. We want to see who wins from this game to this game. And let's just be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Jordan, 95-96 Bulls against the Warriors now.
I mean, let's
the
Bulls will win.
Yeah, let's just talk from. I mean, first of all, just the length of Pippen, just the length of Jordan would give Curry problems. You know,
right?
So I mean, and Rodman on the boards, he would frustrate Draymond. You know, it'll be a great game. Don't get me wrong. It wouldn't be if it was a 7-game series. It wouldn't be.
But see, I don't think they could take away Curry. I think Curry would get his, but they would shut Clay down.
They would shut Clay down, but they would curtail Curry as far as what he's doing. Instead of Curry maybe having 30 points or 40 points, he might have maybe 20.
They would do enough to win. They would do enough to win. You know? They would do enough to win. But so that's la history land.
Right,
la history land.
We like to think about that type of stuff. Right.
So that leads us to Saturday. We have some playoff matchups that's starting, and we'll run through it real quick. Saturday schedule: Pacers at Raptors, Rockets at Warriors, Celtics at Hawks, Mavericks at the Thunder. I think
Boston Atlanta. Give me Boston Atlanta real fast.
Boston Atlanta. I think that's the only game I can see the home team not winning.
Now we're going to be at Atlanta, correct?
Boston's at Atlanta.
Okay. Now here's how I'm thinking. I'm thinking that may go 7 because they're both kind of on even playing field. To be honest with you, Isaiah Thomas is a key in this actual
Marcus
series.
Smart, Everett Turner.
You know, Isaiah Thomas, if he comes out and shoots the lights out like we know he can, It could be 6, get 42.
He's a streaky shooter.
It's a possibility. You know?
I like Brad Stevens as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers, Raptors. I just don't think the Pacers have enough firepower. I see the Raptors ending that in possibly 4 or 5.
Yeah, I say 5.
Rockets, Warriors. This is the rematch for the Western Conference Finals last year.
4
Oh
to
my
1.
how far the mighty have fallen.
Listen,
I mean, the Rockets are in complete disarray. They showed out and played the Kings, but I don't know if that was because the Kings gave up or the Rockets just are a better team.
They're just a better team.
But
they're let's be honest. I mean, the Rockets are not the same team. Dwight Howard's going to be gone. JB Bickerstaff's going to be gone. I mean, there's going to be so many changes on this team that's just, it's just crazy. 4-1 Warriors.
Yeah,
right,
you actually the Rockets are going to get a game. I don't think they're going to get a game. The
You
Warriors,
think
it benefits the Warriors so much that they had to win the 73 game on the last day of the season because I think they're just going to keep on rolling because this talk is going to keep fueling about how they're not good, how they're not a great team.
Right, that's true. That's true. But let me say this though: Harden's going to give you a 50-point game, at least one, and that's why
that's it.
And it's going to be at home. So that's why I said they're going to win one at home.
If they only score 75, 80 points, he gives you 50. But you know the Warriors are going to score 100, 110 every night.
Very true, but something fluky might happen. Some type of defense might happen for the Houston Rockets.
What do you think about the Dallas and the OKC series?
That's very intriguing. That's very intriguing. I still think Thunder wins that 4-2.
Right.
But I think it's going to be very fascinating to watch that series. Just Dirk, Westbrook, Durant.
I don't want to see OKC get down because KD's a free agent this year, and I don't want him to check out.
True.
And I think it's kind of been seen that this is moving forward. This is Westbrook's team.
It is. I mean, the writing is on the wall. I mean, personally, I think Durant's going. I mean,
yes.
It was very interesting, and I thought about it, and I hope it doesn't happen. Knock on wood. You might see him in purple and gold next year.
All right, so that leaves us with Saturday's games. We have one road team possibly having a chance to win, and that's Boston at Atlanta. On Sunday, we have Detroit at Cleveland,
right.
Charlotte at Miami.
Mm-hmm.
We have Memphis at San Antonio, and the Blazers at the Clippers.
Blazers and Clippers. Who you got?
D Lil's a bad boy.
He's a bad man.
He's a bad man. I don't say a lot of things about Stephen A. Smith, but when he said that's a bad.
Yeah, I agree with him on that one.
D Lil's a bad man. They have a nice CJ McCollum, nice backcourt, and the Clippers is just how many times can you keep getting yourself up? Don't get me wrong, the Clippers have a talented roster, but they're not young.
Right. But the Blazers are the perfect clone of Golden State. That's what they're trying to be. It's evident.
Now the Blazers keep this series. The longer that series goes, the more I like Portland's chances. I think the Clippers want to get this done over with and fast. And I'll say the same thing about the Grizzlies and the Spurs. I think the Spurs will have no problem disposing of the Grizzlies because they're just hurt.
Yeah.
What it does intrigue me is Charlotte at Miami. Now I'm a UConn fan.
Okay.
My boy Kemba slicing and dicing.
Right.
The boy.
Listen,
boy handles ridiculous. He can pass. He can shoot.
I just say this. The reason why it's going to be very interesting, but I say the Heat because the Heat right now. Despite that loss last night, the way they lost, they should have won. They won about 20 points and they lost. It's crazy. But despite that loss, I think the Heat are destined to win this game because they're just playing a little better.
And I think Charlotte's going to have a hard time matching up with Hakeem Whiteside, who's a very underrated center.
Very underrated. He's a double machine. He can block shots. He does all the little things. So I don't know. I got the Heat. I have the Heat actually 4-2.
Now, do Detroit and Cleveland? Do you think Cleveland gets the sweep?
Yeah, I'm going with the sweep.
At this time of year, if you haven't noticed, LeBron has started to turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
The team is starting to turn it on. I think they're going to put all that bickerness and pettiness aside.
Right. Yeah, because it's business.
This is a time that this is what you get paid for.
Right.
Kevin Love, I think he wants to stay healthy. He has that taste in his mouth. He didn't go the whole playoff run last year. Got hurt in the first series.
Right.
Thank you, Kelly Olynyk. So I think we got the pride with that. And I think ultimately it's going to be a rematch.
So you saying it's 4-0 Cavs?
4-0 Cavs.
Okay.
I think it's a sweep. Actually, if I'm not mistaken here, and with the Grizzlies and the Spurs, I think I don't know the regular season record, but they always kind of play each other pretty tough. I'm interested to see what the Spurs does because Popovich is always that one step ahead, and I know he's not going to discount or slight the Grizzlies, but I think the San Antonio and Golden State are looking forward to that matchup. I haven't seen the bracket. So I think they'll only meet in the Western Conference Final, which is what it should have been last year.
Right.
Which it should have been last year. So I can't wait for that. And out of the East, I see Cleveland.
Toronto.
Think Cleveland, Toronto?
Cleveland, Toronto. Cleveland, Toronto. I mean,
I think Cleveland will get that in 6. Toronto's good. Kyle Lowry,
because
DeMar DeRozan.
If you think about it, I believe offhand, the Heat is the 4th seed, right?
Yes.
Heat is, and so they're going to play Cleveland. They're going to lose to Cleveland. So it's going to be Toronto and Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So it should be interesting. Should be very interesting.
Should be interesting. On the other side, we got to take a break. Sponsors got to pay those bills. We're going to talk about Flyered Up, baby. Playoff starts tonight. Puck drops in about 10 minutes, actually.
Yeah.
Sports Buzz, Pete, Aaron, my man Keith, our producer.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Philly Sports Guys, Radio Vision Sports Buzz channel. This is our last segment for this week. We're going to get right into it with the Flyers.
Fly Guys.
Puck is about to drop. Capitals 1 versus 8.
Are you fired up? I'm fired up.
I'm fired up. I'm fired up, especially our condolences to the Snider family.
Yes.
Ed Snider was a great man, great owner, really wanted to win, was passionate about his team.
The founder.
He could bully his team, but he wouldn't let nobody else bully him or talk down to him and disrespect him. You hear that from players and all the stories, the outpouring of love. I think the Flyers have a chance in this series, even though it's going to be tough. There's 2 physical teams. There was 2-2 throughout the year when they played 4 times. You got Hopi, you got Williams, you got Backstrom. I mean, the Capitals have 4 tough lines. On the third line, they have 20 goal scorers. But the Flyers, they just got to get gritted out.
Yeah,
All we need is one.
And listen, they're playing for something. They're playing for Ed. So I mean, that's the biggest thing.
Playing for
Ed. Then you're just playing for pride as well. You know, so it should be interesting to see what they do out there. You know, a lot of the experts are picking that.
They're picking the Capitals to win the Cup, but not just the series. They're talking the Capitals
Cup. Right
now.
I just think the Flyers will come out, and play well. We'll see.
Right. The whole goal is you can't shut Ovechkin down, but you have to shut everything else down around him. And with Dave Hackstall being a defensive-minded coach coming from North Dakota State, and you gotta get one. You gotta steal a game there because the Capitals, out of 11 times they made the playoffs, 7 of those 11 times. 7-11 is my birthday, by the way, people. 7 of those 11 times they've lost in the first round. 4 out of those 7 times they lost in the first round. They had a 2-0 lead or a 2-game lead. So they have a hard time closing the deal. I know it's not the same players, but look, once you get that type of aura on the team, all the pressure is on them. We're playing with a chip on our shoulder. I think the game we're gonna win is gonna be tonight.
I don't know about tonight. I'm thinking maybe game 2.
They need
if you go into a split, let's say 1-1,
they gotta get one.
They're going to get one. They need to get one.
But if they really get this one,
I just don't see tonight. I see tomorrow. What do they play? Friday again or Saturday? Saturday. I see Saturday.
Saturday play.
Saturday, and then you come back home Monday. You got the crowd going. Everybody ready, and then still 1-0. So if you get 2-1,
the first home playoff game since Ed Snider's passing. And we're gonna start a new tradition here at PSG. We're gonna give a Boohoo Shame Award. I know we used to have You Got to Go. Aaron did one. I did one. But we're in agreement this week on the Boohoo Shame Award. And last night, in every arena that was hosting a playoff game, they had a moment of silence for Ed Snider.
Yes.
Started an expansion team, won 2 Stanley Cups, great owner, 49 years. And in Pittsburgh, we already don't like y'all anyway.
Big rivals, they hate us. You
can see my professional courtesy went out the window when
he got serious. He got serious.
I don't like you as a Penguins fan. Sidney Crosby, I would smack him in his face if I ever saw him in real life.
Put it like this: it's like the Eagles and the Giants.
It's worse
like
than
the Cowboys and the Eagles. But it's a big rivalry.
Even though the Cowboys, I think they have more decency than what the Penguins fans showed last night.
Yeah, I give them that. They do.
We had a moment of silence at the Penguins Stadium. And there was boos running out when Ed Snider's memorial was going on.
Yeah, which is
Flyers suck chance. It's just there's no place for that in sports.
No, not at all. Despicable.
And you don't see, I haven't seen any type of Pittsburgh retaliation speaking to their fans about that. Be a class act, because if your owner was to pass away or somebody prevalent of your organization relevant, pretty sure we would have done the honorable thing and not booed. As much as we wanted it to, but it's not. The moment is bigger than that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I got that off my shoulder.
You good? You all right?
I'm good. I'm kind of frustrated.
You was at 100.
I'm kind of frustrated here.
He was at 100.
Now, that's going to lead me to another downward spiral that we saw on the 12th hole last Sunday.
He loves the golf. Go ahead, talk about the golf.
Jordan Spieth, I don't know what happened. I think Skip Bayless gave you the kiss of death, because I think he tweeted on the 9th hole that birdies 6 through 9, 4 birdies in a row, this Masters is over. Look what happened.
Right.
One hole cost him.
They said choke.
It was a choke. I mean, he hit a shot like I hit a shot. On the par 3 12th, you got to get over the water. Just get it on the green. Play safe from there on out. He hit it in the water, went to the drop zone, and then he hit a chunky, fat shot. A chunky monkey shot. Skipped it into the water. Ended up with a 7. He did come back and get it close.
Right.
But ultimately, Danny Willett won. My hat's off to Danny Willett.
Yes, Danny
Great
Willett.
young player out of New England, out of United Kingdom. I'm sorry. Wow.
New England.
His son was actually supposed to be born on Masters Sunday.
Oh, really?
He said, "Son, I need you to come early. Daddy got things to do.
Nice.
He wants to play the Masters, and he hopes to win." That green jacket will forever change your life. Now you live on, and
it's true,
forever.
Yeah.
Your legacies. Now, I want to talk about the Phillies real quick.
Real fast.
Phillies
5-5.
5-5, 500. They lost 4. They lost their first 4 out of 5. They've won 4 out of the next 5. Out of 500. Vincent Velasquez today had the first business person special.
Yes.
16 Ks, complete game, 113 pitches. Look, we knew the arms were going to be good.
Yes, we did.
At some point.
Right.
But they're getting very good quality starting pitching right now, early into the season. I hope it lasts. But our bullpen has looked better this week.
Right.
But we need to generate some more
offense.
offense.
We got to get some bats going. I mean, you can't win. You're winning 3-0, 2-1, and 1-2. That just doesn't work. You got to generate some hits. You know, so we'll see.
Yes. Now, we want to leave you. A lot of times, my personality, Aaron's personality, we like to be upbeat. We like to look at the more positive sides of life.
Right.
I'm more optimistic. I don't have any time for pessimism or negativity. Life is way too short for that.
Absolutely.
And one prime example. Last Saturday, Will Smith,
yes, very sad,
ex-player of the New Orleans Saints, was gunned down. I can't say gunned down. It was lost in a senseless act of violence. Something that could have been prevented. A father of 3. Not only was he shot and he was injured, his wife was also injured.
Yes.
I just got to say, man, like these guns, it's just. I don't like to give my personal opinion a lot of times on here, but I don't get it. It's not so much the guns itself. It's just the people who get the guns and these concealed carry permits, and there has to be better guidelines put in place before you get approved.
Right, and it's just a thought pattern. I mean, we got to think better as a whole, as a people. Like you're gonna just gun down somebody. You shot the man 8 times. Like
and he shot his wife
crazy.
first.
That's crazy.
I think
and on the video, I mean, just to give a quick synopsis on what happened. And anyone has seen the video, he basically, so Will Smith was actually in back of Cardell Hayes. Cardell Hayes has a Hummer. So he actually tapped him. Because actually Cardell Hayes actually stopped abruptly in the middle of the street. So Will Smith, you know how you tap somebody by mistake, you usually get out and say, are you okay, blah, blah, blah. So when Cardell pulled over, Will Smith went around him. So from the rage, I'm thinking, Cardell Hayes came right after him, and then when he hit him, they stopped at a light. Hit him so hard, the back windshield shattered. Can you imagine that? Shattered.
That had to be a lot of force, because the
absolutely
Hummer is big.
Force. So basically, from there, they got out of the car, they exchanged words, and then the rest is history.
The rest is history. And the thing is,
it's sad.
As I was telling Aaron off camera, I was telling our producer Keith, there was some history behind this.
Yes.
Will Smith here, Thomas, was out having dinner on a Saturday night with the ex-chief inspector of the New Orleans Police Department.
Right.
Who was involved in an incident that ultimately ended up with Cardell Hayes' father being shot and killed
in 2005.
In 2005.
Right.
Now, Mr. Hayes, in this case, settled out of court.
Right. Won a
settlement out of court from the city of New Orleans. I don't know if they were at the same venue, but he saw this.
Right, and that's what's really intriguing, I guess. And I can understand a little bit the rage that came over you, but And yes, you lost your dad, and I feel bad about that. But my thing is, you gotta control your actions, man.
Right, and the thing
you gotta,
is,
you gotta think correctly, you know.
In a situation like this, we'll never know truly
the true feeling, right?
What was thought, what was going through the heads.
Mm-hmm.
I just know we're left with one black man in prison for an act that I don't know if he has any remorse. I haven't heard it. He hasn't spoken.
Right.
Which is his lawyer's not letting him speak.
Well, his lawyer's spinning it as a
self-defense.
Self-defense.
And that's what the defense lawyer is supposed to do. The defense lawyer is doing his job. Will Smith can't speak for himself.
Right.
I don't think his wife, his widow. It just feels weird even saying that. He's 31. I'm 33.
Yeah, that's just.
I mean, I can't.
I'm not. Sad situation.
I'm not trying to leave my kids over something that's out of my control. Especially when to the community that my profession was in, we raised up after a trying time.
Right.
And we brought a Super Bowl.
I mean, this guy's a pillar of that actual, that area. I mean, look where they were, before the hurricane and how they resurrected from that.
Yes.
It's just really sad.
Yes. I mean, the only thing I want to leave you with is just think. I know it's hard in the heat of a situation to have a clear, conscious train of thought.
Right.
But every action that you guys have, especially when it comes to these guns, I personally don't own any guns.
Right, I don't either. Yeah.
So you can't take that split second back, because that split second decision now has a widow and 3 fatherless children.
Right. It's just a sensitive situation. It really is.
I really put the guns down.
Yeah.
Put the guns down.
And think about the actual what's going to happen to the situation or in the future. Think about your future before you deal with the present. Basically.
Yeah. I mean, and now I think you
it.
spoke about Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah.
Who played at LSU from the Louisiana area, spoke out about Hayes.
Yes.
Said he had some dealings with him at LSU, and now he's receiving death threats.
Right. He basically after the situation happened, tweeted out, that I know this guy's a coward. He's not a good person, and then basically from that he started receiving death threats from people from New Orleans. So I mean, we got to change the whole aspect of thinking. Our thinking's not really right. We got to get it together.
Our life has to be bigger than that and respect each other. His life is important. My life is important. His life is just as important as mine. I'm not better than anyone.
Right.
I don't think like that. I wasn't raised like that. I don't treat people like that. And I hope that people out there, if you do have those thoughts, you do have that rage, if you ever put in that situation, just to have a gun there,
take a walk. Just think about the situation. Think about what's going to happen if you react on that situation. Just think about it first.
Yes. And I hate to leave you guys on that note, but this is Philly Sports, guys.
Yes.
Keep the peace. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks, everybody out there. Thanks for rocking with us. We appreciate it.